when I send a newsletter, I usually make a lot of money. And I'm like, why am I not sending a newsletter? And I can actually, you send a whole, nice written out thing. I can send, hello, what are you up to this weekend? Here's a picture of an alligator sticker. I'm having a sale. It's 20% off through Sunday. And then send it, and I can make a bunch of money. And why didn't I, how long did that take? Do you do it on your phone or do you do it on the computer?
No, I do it on my computer.
See, I use MailChimp.
Yeah.
I was able one time to get it to work on my phone. And if I could get it to work on my phone, I know I would do it more.
Every fruit on the tree started out with a seed. So dare to believe the impossible is possible. So your deepest dream, grow your truest dream, bloom your freest dream with me.
Welcome to the Artist Bridge to Abundance podcast. I'm your host, Michele Renee Stone, and today we're here with Gianna Pergamo of Pergamo Paper Goods.
Hi.
So, Gianna, you started this artist journey in 2012.
That's when I graduated from art school. So I'd been making art my whole life. I went to school with the intention of I'm going to be an artist. That's how I'm going to make my money. That's going to be my job. I didn't go into school knowing that I was going to start a consumer goods product-based business. I wanted to do illustrations, and I thought I was going to do children's books.
Oh, okay.
I came out and I was like, I'm going to do children's books. When I was in school, I was trying to figure out what style I wanted to work with. I didn't go in with a style. A lot of people went in with a style, and you could really tell what their work was. And I just was like, I don't know, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And then I was taking these children's books classes with my favorite teacher, Judy Sue. And she would give us different prompts for stories. Mm-hmm. And I did this one called Fish Market, which was about a fish going to market to sell his wares. And he was selling acorns with worms in them. I don't know, all this weird stuff. But it was like my style, which is like dressed up animal people, kind of vintagey clothing. They were really vintagey clothing. They were like 1850s. Dressed up fish with the top hat and the trench coat and everything. But it was the same kind of collage that I do now. So I was doing that. I started doing other collages. And then when I graduated from school, I started working at a silk screen place, and I had an internship where I was making some art. But I got asked to do this solo show, and I didn't know what I wanted to do for it. And I was like, why don't I do those dressed up animal people? And so I started doing dressed up animal people. And then I was like, why don't I at the same time start a greeting card company? And that's what happened.
And that's where Pergamo Paper Goods came from.
Mm-hmm.
That's brilliant. I know that a lot of your animals are either alligators or cats or dogs. There's some flamingos and some Florida birds. So how do you choose your animals?
Okay, I'm always trying to do a different animal that I haven't done. So when I started, I had the alligator, I had the squirrel, I had deer. I had a lot of northern animals, and then people are like, do dogs and cats. I'm like, I don't want to do dogs and cats. That's selling out. That's terrible. So I started doing dogs and cats, and it turns out I like doing dogs and cats, and people love dogs and cats. But I have people recommend me animals, and I put them on my list. So on my list right now, I have a hippo, I have a capybara, I have a woodpecker, and then I have a whole other list of things. But what will happen is I'm like, I need to make something new. Should I do a hippo, a capybara, or woodpecker? And I go, no, I should just do another alligator. Because I love alligators. So.
When you started your greeting card company, what did you start off with, and how has it evolved over time?
I had that show, and there was maybe 15 pieces in that show, and then I took 12 of the pieces, and I was like, I have cards now. And I got this book. It was about selling wholesale greeting cards that alumni relations recommended to me. They also recommended that I email this other greeting card company that had graduated 10 years before me, and they were doing well. So I get this book. I have 12 designs. Perfect. That's so many designs. I'm ready to go. I was very naive and didn't realize that I needed 50 designs.
Right.
So I went around with my cards to different shops. I was like, would you like to sell my cards? Some of them were really nice, and I said, okay. Then I just started amassing more designs, and now I have so many designs and more products than just greeting cards.
So how many designs do you think you have currently?
There's about 100 greeting cards, and there's about 100 art prints, but they overlap greatly. So there's probably 120 or 150 pieces of art.
Wow, that's incredible. So you have the greeting cards in which you also take those characters and you turn them into earrings, into magnets, into
Ornaments, magnets, ornaments,
earrings.
stickers,
Yep.
really important, cards and prints.
So where do you make your most money? If someone is hearing this and thinking about one of my students who has all these little characters, so where would you start if you were starting today with these kinds of ideas?
Prints and stickers.
Prints and stickers. Yeah.
Yeah, they're easy. Prints have like a huge profit margin. Stickers are really easy to sell.
Right. Yeah, everywhere you go. Stickers is such a huge thing right now.
Yeah.
They're everywhere, on your laptops, on your water bottles, on everything. And you also are in stores. Every time I go somewhere and I walk into another art store, you're there. And I know your pieces immediately. I'm like, oh, Gianna's been here. Okay, got it. So how did you start with that?
So I started with the intention of doing stores. It's funny because I'm like, I don't want to do craft shows. And like right now I'm trying to do craft shows again. And I didn't want to have to sell a lot of things individually. But it's very strange because like I actually really like selling things individually too. And like packing those orders. So I started with the intention of being in stores. I got all my products numbered and everything ready. And then instead of really working on Etsy or my website, I emailed a lot of stores. And now there's wholesale websites. Now, in terms of packing orders, I don't like packing the wholesale orders as much as I like packing the individual orders because I'm like, oh, Susan ordered this and she wants a little duck magnet. And sometimes I do it with intention.
Yeah.
And I love that she got this duck magnet and I put it in the thing and I carefully close it up. But it doesn't feel like quite that much with the stores, but the stores is 80 to 90% of my income.
Right.
And I love seeing pictures of my stuff in stores. Like in places that I've never been.
Right.
They're far away. And you see the beautifully merchandised little gift shops and there's my stuff.
You have your work in places all over the nation, right?
Yeah.
How do people like hashtag you, or Pergamo Paper Goods, or how do you see your artwork?
Sometimes they tag me on Instagram, but usually they don't. And I understand that they wouldn't want to because then it might lead someone to purchase directly from me.
Right.
So I follow some of my stores. And then if they post something and I see it, I'll repost it. Go to the store. Because they take better pictures than I take. Like my pictures.
And marketing is part of it too, as far as being a business owner and having your work in different places. A lot of the time they won't tag you because then they know that they'll go straight directly to you, which makes sense. As you are navigating, reaching out to new shops, clients, and customers, how do you find them?
So I used to pick a city and then go on Yelp. Mm-hmm. That's one way to do it. One way is to go down an Instagram rabbit hole and go from like store to recommended store. You can find a category of shop, like a bookshop, and find a list of bookshops,
Right.
list of whatever, and then you email them. But I feel like it used to be a lot easier to email stores, and now it's harder. And maybe I should be sending a sample thing and then calling, but I'm shy.
I think all of us as artists are shy, but I think we go through these phases of being shy. Sometimes I'll have my moments where I'm shy, and then there are other times where you put me in a social setting and I am absolutely on fire talking to everybody and anyone.
Oh, yeah. So one way to get into stores is to physically go into the stores.
Right.
And that is recommended or not recommended. You go in, you better make sure there's nobody around the clerk before you start talking and saying, can I leave something for the owner? And then maybe at that point they'll say, oh, let me just show them, or I'm the owner, show me. But a lot of the time they don't like the cold call and we're not accepting anything. And usually people are nice, especially if it's a worker. They're like, yeah, we'll take it. Maybe the owner will never see it. But I've had enough of, we're not taking anything. We don't like when people come in. We're like, oh, okay. So then you email, but then no one sees your email. And you're like, okay, do I Instagram? That seems really unprofessional, but I bet some people like that.
Right.
And then you could do, I sent once a lot of mailers, but then I didn't call. At one point I emailed to follow up, but I'm like a little disorganized. So like sometimes I'll get an idea and I'll like really go for it. And then I forget to do the follow up.
Which is very valid. Follow up is important. It's not only the coming up with the ideas and creating the artwork, but putting yourself out there and then making sure that you follow up, because they can be like fantastic and then put it back in your lap. That's important to follow up, especially if they're local. If they're out of state, then clearly you can ship something. But
Yeah. Yeah, I'll probably do another outreach soon.
yeah. Do you have a newsletter?
Yeah. Do I use it? Not like you do.
Well, you know what it is for me is I set a date every Tuesday, and because I've been doing this for like 2.5 years now with my newsletter. And so some days I send it out on Monday, Tuesday, all different days, but Tuesday seems to be the best day for me. Mm-hmm. So I try to send things out on Tuesday, and then I still play with the different times, like when are the biggest open rates. So yeah, and then the clicks, because I send links to my YouTube page and a bunch of other things and see who follows through and who clicks and stuff.
When I send a newsletter, I usually make a lot of money. And I'm like, why am I not sending a newsletter? Like, and I can actually, like, you send a whole, like, nice written out thing. Mm-hmm. I can send, hello, what are you up to this weekend? Here's a picture of an alligator sticker. I'm having a sale. Like, it's 20% off through Sunday. And then send it, and I can make a bunch of money. And why didn't I, like, how long did that take? Do you do it on your phone or do you do it on the computer?
No, I do it on my computer.
See, I use MailChimp.
Yeah.
I was able one time to get it to work on my phone. And if I could get it to work on my phone, I know I would do it more.
Is it more of the audio to text kind of thing?
No, I just don't love using my computer and I don't like typing.
Okay. But when you do the MailChimp on your phone, do you speak into it?
No.
You still type? Okay.
Yeah, and I type with one finger.
You know, and it's all a process. So I think like right now I've got something in the queue talking about last week's podcast. Because now I'm like really stepping into my podcast and talking about, because I'm getting inspired by each one of these conversations and learning different things. I kind of feel like Oprah back in the day when she first started. Oh. You know, it's one of those where this is the field of interest that I love so much, and talking. And the main reason that I'm doing this podcast is to have conversations with people like you who are well established, and this is your livelihood, right? And so there's plenty of tips and tricks and trials and errors that you've been really successful at, and then things that you've learned to help you lean more into that success. Yeah, like I was telling Gianna off screen that when it comes to numbers with your business, I feel like you're a genius with that. Like you can pop numbers off the top of your head like nothing.
Kind of, with some things.
Well, with a lot of them, you know the profit margin, you know what it is that you need to do, and you know what sizes and everything. And so that's really important as an artist.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially with what you do, because you sell more smaller things, but you also sell like your pieces, like the piece that we have here is one of your paintings, and so you also sell those as well, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so tell us a little bit about this.
So Alligator Lady is one of my like most popular designs. The original one, she's wearing a red skirt, and then recently, so I've been making new paintings, new characters, but I was like, I still have original collage, like the pre-photocopied collage, because I make my collages with photocopies of things and then I re-photocopy them so they're flat. So I had the original collage. I was like, let me make a few more alligator ladies in different colors because that painting sold a long time ago. Maybe someone else wants her. And this is her in blue with pink. And she's kind of my mascot. She's like really happy and excited. There's several of the characters that kind of remind me of me.
Right.
And she's like me when I'm excited.
The alligator lady?
Yeah.
What are the other ones that remind you of you?
There's Weasel. There's a weasel. And she's surrounded by food and plants. I don't know. There's the ibis lady by the pool. Yeah.
Yeah. What's the one that has the bird that has the really long neck? Is that an ibis?
They're really long. An ibis has a long neck. The one that she's like reclining.
Yeah, well, and in my mind, I'm seeing her standing and her head kind of waves up.
Oh, flamingo.
Ah, is it flamingo? Flamingo lady? Man?
There's a man and a lady.
Okay. And on your cards, I love how you represent all different aspects of life and relationships with your cards, with your different animals.
Do you mean like the gay cards?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, the gay cards, the regular couples, just everybody.
Yeah, when I started, I was like, oh, I want to make sure I have gay couples because there weren't that many.
Right.
Honestly, there's not that many interesting gay cards.
Right.
So I try to mix it up, like who's with who. And I was struggling a little bit with, I was like, oh, I don't know if I'm representing trans people.
Right.
But I've had like various trans people be like, oh no, like the alligator lady is trans. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like I don't have to do anything because they're already this ambiguous figure. Like
Right.
they could represent anybody. So
Yeah, like for alligator lady, the only way that you know that she's a lady is, well, by she has a skirt on, high heels, gloves, and
yeah, but anyone can dress however they want. So yeah.
yeah. You're right.
I did have a piece that was like an LGBTQ piece, and I was like trying to have a trans animal, and I was like, I don't know how to do this because they just look like dressed up animals. I don't know what I'm doing. But I had like maybe someone will weigh in on whether this was a good idea. What about if I use a animal that has, when it's male and female, it looks different?
Right.
So I used like a green anole with the thing and had it in a dress. I don't know if it went over well at the time.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah. So, okay, so you originally started in Brooklyn, going back a little bit, and from there you went to school and
I lived in Brooklyn, then I moved down to Florida with my family. Then I went up to Rhode Island for school, and then I moved back down.
yeah. So you've been back here in the St. Pete area for 10 years or so.
Mhm.
What has been your biggest like learning moment here in St. Pete?
What have I don't know.
Okay.
I'm like, I've learned things. I don't know that they are necessarily because of being in St. Pete. I'm
Okay.
happier in St. Pete,
Yeah.
so that's a good thing.
So in your artistic journey, what have you learned that has really made a profound impact on your business?
I think something that I learned is that I need to keep making stuff even if I don't feel good or I don't feel like making anything, because I literally forgot like how to make a collage the way I usually make a collage. And it was kind of funny. It was not funny, but I was not feeling good. I was not making a lot of work. And then I got a call to artists from Chad Mize for Top Box. And I was like, yeah, I want to be in the show. And then it's coming up. And then I'm like, okay, I have this idea. It's going to be an ibis by a pool. And I get this huge canvas and I stand it up vertically and I start painting a pool on it. And it's terrible. And I have to start the piece over 3-4 times. And then I remember, oh, I put a pattern down first. And what am I doing? It was such a waste of time. I shouldn't have stopped making stuff. So,
I think there are things in our lives that, like for me, because I wear so many hats, I'm an art and business coach, right? And now I have my podcast. I also teach, I curate. And so it's hard for me specifically to carve out time to actually create for myself.
I always put it last. Even if I have a commission. I have a commission right now, and I'm like, oh no. But because I'll have orders, I have to get the orders done first. But with commission, I told the person that it was going to get done, so like I need to do it.
Right.
And it's hard for me to make something while the other thing is nagging. I don't know. I've just been trying to reorganize my time recently. Figure that out. I feel like that's a big thing about being an artist, like scheduling your time. I know you're supposed to work every day or work however many times a week, but to optimize that with, I work better in the morning, so I'm going to schedule morning time
Yeah.
as opposed to, oh, let me get everything done and then I'll work at night. And then I'm like, I don't want to paint at night. I both don't want to paint at night. And if I do make myself paint at night, it activates me and then I can't sleep.
Oh.
So I know people who only paint at night and they paint late and they're, oh, I love it. And I'm like, doesn't it activate you? And they're like, yeah, I can't sleep. I'm like, okay.
You're like, now your mind won't stop working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I, by the time this airs, it will be done, but I'm working on a commission right now that's very fun. And maybe it'll be done tonight. I worked on it a little bit this morning and then I realized, oh, there's actually not that much that needs to be done. I think this will be easy. Occasionally, because you as an artist retain the rights to your piece, occasionally I use a commission as like a print.
Right.
And this person, okay, this was a really interesting one. It never happens this way. I'm like, tell me what you want your cat to be doing and tell me what colors you want and tell me like anything you want in it. And he's, my cat is a diva. That's it. Go for it. And I'm like, what? He's like, I want to be surprised. So I'm like trying to make this just like really good and like a way that I like it because I don't really know how he likes it. I hope he'll like it if I make it the way I like it. But it's just a weird one because he doesn't even want the midway checkpoint picture.
Oh.
So I gave him a midway text. I said, hi, I'm working on your piece. It looks nice.
Did you tell him any colors or anything?
No.
No details?
No.
And he was like, okay, great. Just let me know when it's done.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah. Don't you love it as an artist when they just give you free reign to do?
I'm scared.
Really?
I'm scared, yeah.
Oh, what?
I'm just afraid he won't like it. I'm just anxious. Yeah.
And so is it like maybe by the time that you're done with it, he may not like it, and then what's going to happen then?
I don't know what will happen. I don't know. Yeah.
There you go. I'm excited to see it.
It's cute.
Awesome. And so how often do you do commissions?
Honestly, not that often, but I just had 3 in a row.
Perfect.
So I feel like I might be on a roll.
There you go. Yeah. What is your favorite part of your business that jazzes you up in not only in the studio but also resonates out into the world and what people receive?
Okay. Obviously, I like making the work.
Right.
And right now I'm very excited because I remembered that I can make stencils. So I usually make the backgrounds with matte medium transfer. But right now I'm playing with stencils and I have a laser cutter and I can laser cut the stencil. So that's one thing I get excited about. Second thing, I like doing the Etsy and Shopify orders. Like I was saying, I have a name and a place and then I put it together and then I see all the things together and it's very satisfying. So I like doing that. And then recently I decided that I'm going to start doing markets again because I'm like trying to figure out my life a little bit. I had a part-time job for a year and I really liked that job for a couple of reasons, but the biggest reason was like the social aspect of it.
Right.
So I'm shy, but I'm very social. If I do markets again, I make a little extra money a month, and then maybe I make some friends with the vendors, and you talk to the people getting your work, and then that reminds you again, it's real people buying your work, because it does feel very abstract. Even the Etsy orders, like I don't see their faces. So I see real people's faces. They say, "Oh, I like this," and you're like, "Okay, great." Like, so, that's up to you. And they buy it, and so that's a thing that connects me with real people. I get excited for those. I just did a little one at a brewery. I'm gonna do New Moon Makers Market this month, which is March, and then maybe in the future. So maybe look for me there.
Yeah.
I'm not sure because I'm still like trying to figure out which markets. I really like that one, but I'm still not sure which markets are the best ones for me. And maybe the best ones for me are really based on what's inside.
Right.
Because it's hard for me to put up the tent. It hurts my back.
Right.
Then the weather, like maybe it's too hot or whatever. So that one is inside. The other one I did was inside. And we want it to be a good fit. I really like the people at that market, like the other vendors. And then the people who come are really nice too. So I'm trying to do 1 or 2 markets a month.
You know, here in the Tampa Bay area, there are markets almost every day. I know in Carrollwood and Tampa, you've got the second Saturday market there. I know here in St. Pete, you have every Saturday is a market. Right?
Yeah.
Downtown St. Pete. Gulfport has the every Tuesday. Then you have your first Friday and your third Saturday here in Gulfport. And then you also have second Saturday in St. Pete. They're just so many opportunities.
It's really weighing out how comfortable I feel at that market. Like, oh, is there a bathroom?
Yes.
Like, how easy is it to park? Sometimes I don't like to do the night one because I get tired and then I get anxious. But how comfortable it is versus how much money I'm going to make. If I'm going to be uncomfortable, but I make a lot of money,
Yeah.
maybe I'm going to do it. But maybe I'm going to do a really comfortable one where I make a little bit of money and make some friends or whatever. So it's an experiment. I used to do it as a big part of my income and it really mattered. And I did 3 or 4 a month and I was hustling. And now I'm like, this is a little
extra.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's also Korean market.
I did that one. I never made a lot of money.
Yeah. So are you going there and trying out these different markets first before you sign up? And
Yeah, I usually do that. There's another one the same day as the New Moon Makers Market that's at USF, but I'm not going to be able to make it. So I'm going to see if maybe my friend will go and see if it's good.
There you go.
Because I could alternate. Also, I don't know. I think New Moon Makers Market is closed during the summer. I also don't want to be outside during the summer. Like it's really,
It's really hot. Yeah. Last year I actually did markets. I did some of the Tampa Bay markets. I did the second Saturday in Carrollwood, and then I also did the second Sunday, which is over there at Hillsborough High School. But during the summer, they actually moved inside. Yeah, there's a lot of money to be made at markets if you find the right ones for you.
I don't make that much money doing it. So when I stopped doing markets, it was like, Gianna, if you spent the 6 hours you're at the market plus the 2 hours you're setting up and breaking down on your marketing at home on your computer, you would make more money. So why don't you do that? But turns out I don't want to do that either. What am I going to do? I have a lot of time now, so I can do both.
Right.
I want to do a little bit of markets. Like the one I did recently this weekend, I saw some guys that I haven't seen in a while. That was more of a fine art show where I showed up with other stuff. He said, bring prints, but I'm bringing prints and stickers and magnets because I don't trust that anyone's going to buy a painting.
Right.
Anyway, no one bought any of my paintings. I don't know if anyone else sold a painting, but I made some money on my stuff. But I did get to see some painters that I hadn't seen in a while. That was really nice. It was a whole nice thing.
That's awesome. So do you prefer the markets here in St. Pete or more over in Tampa?
I don't want to drive. So.
Yeah, I know. It's always been a thing for people. When I lived in Tampa, so no, you can't go over the bridge. And people, it's 20 minutes.
I've been
25
going
minutes.
over the bridge a lot lately, so
Yeah.
it's not as bad.
It's so funny that it's such a thing.
But if it's early and when you break down and then you put the stuff in your car, I don't remember which market I used to do in Tampa, but it was hard. You had to go park somewhere far away and then bring your car back, and you're in this line of cars to load back up. So it took an hour to just load back up. It takes me 15 minutes to break down. And then an hour, and then now I have to drive over the bridge. I'm like, oh, I really don't want to do that. So I would prefer St. Pete, but if it's a chill market, I would do Tampa.
Bingo. So as far as like your setup, you said that you prefer to do the markets inside, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you don't want the tent. So do you have the normal table set up with the grids to show?
No, I don't have any grids.
No.
That might be good. So I have a print rack that I can fit like a lot of prints in, and I double up designs. And then if I'm inside, I don't usually have room for the card rack, but I do have a spinning card rack. I have my magnets. I have my sticker rack. So sometimes I bring earrings. And then what I've been bringing recently, the little thing of framed prints, and then I prop up a framed print. Or I bring a couple of paintings and I prop them up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm really working on making it quicker to do and easy.
Well, I mean, as a business owner, you have to like really think about where your time is spent, right? And so the ease of setting it up, but also the aesthetic appeal and how that relates to the people who are attending these markets and things. And so that's always important.
Like I leave the prints in the print rack, and if they get messed up, I throw them out. Well, I could take them all out and put them back in, or I could leave them in there, and if they get messed up, I just throw them out. I leave my stickers in the sticker thing, and then it has to go in the car this certain way. If it falls over, everything falls out. So it goes in a certain way. Oh, but the thing with the outside show, I just thought about it again. The tent weights.
Yes.
They're so heavy. So
I was at a market last year and I had major tent weights on top of tent weights, and I had a banner in the back and everything, and the wind started blowing my banner and almost took my tent off.
did you bungee cord your weight to the top?
No.
You put the bungee cord at the top of your tent and then the bar,
Yeah.
and then to the weight,
Uh-huh.
and then that way it doesn't.
Oh. Well, thank you for that. Now I know.
Someone should have showed you that.
Yeah. Okay. Now I know. I'll pay attention. Yeah, I'm not sure that's quite what I plan on doing a lot of going forward, but you never know when it will happen. So as far as your business goes, you've been in business for
It's like 14 years.
14 years. When you find products that really sell, how do you take those pieces that really sell and expound on different ways to...
I have different designs that sell. So like Alligator Lady's really popular. There's a white mermaid cat that's really popular. There's a couple. Batgirl is now popular. So I'm thinking about, we were talking about this off camera. I really want to do notebooks. So I am thinking about those popular designs are going to be the ones on the notebooks. I still don't know if I'm going to do it, but I don't know if I can get the price good enough. Definitely Alligator Lady will be one. There'll be a couple of different ones. Black cat, black coffee. Really, I don't know why. There's a couple of things that I made that are very popular, and I'm like, why are you so like, why?
I'll tell you one that I know that's really popular is Angel Dog.
Oh yeah, you know she's the original design. She's not an angel. She's a Cupid.
Really?
Yeah, it's a Valentine's Day card. But people buy it because they know dead pugs.
Yeah.
And when I made it, Sophie was alive, but now she's an angel.
Yeah.
It makes me really happy that there's angel pugs everywhere. I'm like, oh, Sophie's everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so funny because I've been in places where people buy your magnets and your stickers and everything, and it just brings them so much joy, so much like satisfaction, so much like, yes, I want this one and this one and this one and this one. Yeah, so it's beautiful.
People pick them with intention.
Yeah, they do.
They remind them of specific things. It doesn't really get old for me. People are like, this one is you. This one is me. And I'm like, oh, this is you? Oh, good. And like, I don't know. At like markets, that's the only time I really get to have fun with people.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of fun with people. And I love when they're, oh, I want to buy like 4 prints. And then they're like, but I don't know how to pick which ones.
Yeah.
And then I go and I help them pick.
How do you help them pick?
Well, they'll usually start with one. And then I'm like, okay, are you going for this vibe? Like, this cat is this cat's boyfriend. Do you want the matching?
Yeah.
Or this one is like pink. Do you want green? Because sometimes if you're not an artist, you can't balance out the colors.
Right.
So I do that.
That's perfect. And then you probably get into those conversations about the different personalities of the different people and all of that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes. Yeah.
People want to know like what the names of the animals. They don't have names.
They make it up.
They only, yeah, they can make it up. I'm not making it up. That's not my job.
Your job is just to create
Yeah.
collage and keep it.
I can tell you like this is Sophie, this is Scout, this is Wrigley, but beyond that, they don't have names. It's Alligator Lady.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, because you've never owned an alligator.
No, not yet.
The time is coming.
I hope so.
If you had one thing to tell your younger self, what do you think that would be?
I would tell my younger self to keep experimenting, be open to suggestions. Like I said, I didn't want to do cats, and I like doing cats now. Also, try different products. I really didn't think stickers would pick up, but I had a friend who's like, oh, do stickers, and I have friends that have a sticker company, and you can just do it through them. And I did, and it was like, whoa, stickers, like, crazy. So just try things. If it's not going to be too expensive to try, to just try it, like, just see. Yeah.
There you go. Just try things. Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Gianna, for spending this time with us and for sharing all of your extensive knowledge from everything that you've been doing.
You're welcome. It's so nice. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Right. And thank you ever so much, listeners, and we will we'll see you later.
Seed to flower, magic's in your hands. You got the power, so go forth and expand.
I'd like to thank St. Pete Arts Alliance for their individual grant and making this particular podcast and everything that goes along with it possible. I'm so incredibly grateful to you. Are you a working artist looking for your next festival opportunity? You're invited to apply at the 12th Annual Gulfport Fine Arts Festival, happening February 13th and 14th, 2027. Artists in all mediums are encouraged to apply for this juried boutique festival, featuring cash awards, marketing exposure, and direct access to collectors and art enthusiasts. Applications close July 31st. To learn more and apply, go to visitgulfportflorida.com. I'll see you there. If you like the podcast that you just saw, go ahead and click that subscribe button and click the little bell next to it, so then that way you're notified every time we load up another episode. Look forward to seeing you soon.